Attention, attention, positive vibes only. Hi, you guys. This is my very first show, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And first and foremost, I do want to thank God. That man upstairs is real, and I just want to give him all of my glory and honor for being able to talk to you guys about my purpose of this show. So, my purpose of this show is to reach out to people around the CSRA, businesses, and just to get their life journeys, just to get their names out there because a lot of people don't know about small businesses, and just to talk to different people and interview a lot of people, and also most importantly mental health awareness. So that's basically my purpose of this show. And I like to talk. I love to talk. I can talk all day long. So that's another reason why I started this. So to get into my topic for today, it's about my opinion about being single. I'm 25 now. I feel like I know a little bit about relationships to where I can talk about them. I'm not a relationship expert, so I'm not telling you to take my relationship advice. But what I do want to talk about is my opinion. I see a lot of people that, mainly guys, get out of, not really getting out of a relationship, but they try to jump into a relationship with someone else before getting out of their first relationship. Not realizing that when you don't close that door of your first chapter, like, okay, when you're reading a book, the author ends that first chapter and goes to the next. And they carry it on. There's not one of those chapters in your life that you want to continue to carry those pages on in your life. Unless they're positive and unless they're necessary and you're, getting somewhere. You get what I'm saying? So these, in relationships, I feel like when you're going from one relationship to another, you should be able to understand that one door needs to be closed. There needs to be closure. There needs to be an understanding of, okay, this is not what I want anymore, or, this is not what we're going to do anymore, so I'm going to just go to the next thing. Before you get out of a relationship, there should be an understanding. But in most times, there are cases where that person isn't sure that they want to be in a relationship anymore. So they try to test the waters a little bit and date. Because in my opinion, when you're in a relationship, you're no longer dating. You're not single anymore. You're taken. So therefore, you go on dates, of course, as if you were still in the dating scene, but you go on dates with that person that you're in a relationship with. Dating to me is just really different from being in a relationship, if that makes any sense. If someone asks you, hey, are you single, taken, or whatever, sometimes I say, I'm dating. I'm seeing people, but I'm not taken, And when you're taken, that means that that person is the only person that you should indulge in a relationship with. Now, some people may disagree. Some people may think that marriage is one of those things that you should just be committed to one person, but I disagree. When you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship for marriage, to eventually get married to that person, because why be in a relationship with somebody that you can't see a future with? You get what I'm saying? So I think that once you're in a relationship, that's that commitment, that first step towards marriage, towards engagement, you know what I'm saying, and then towards marriage. So I just think that dating other people, seeing other people, talking to other people are unnecessary. I think all of that should stop, especially if it's somebody new. I don't think it should ever begin. And my purpose of saying that was basically to say that when people do that, they get into, another relationship with somebody, or they start dating someone else, and that person, they don't really commit to the second person. And if they do, it's always confusing because they don't really know if they wanted to be out of a relationship with that first person. So now it's like, oh my gosh, do I want to be with this person? Do I want to be with that person? And sometimes it's multiple people in some cases. So we jump. Sometimes we tend to jump from one relationship to another without closing that first door. So I feel like basically in your singleness, you should be able to just take the time to get to know yourself. Take that break that you need in your life to get to know yourself, to get to know where you went wrong or where you didn't go wrong, or where that other person just basically what that other person was trying to teach you in that relationship, what being in that relationship taught you. I think that that's important because most times we get into another relationship and we have the same exact problems. Instead of growing, we stay the same because we didn't take that time, that space to get to know who we were, or to, reevaluate the things that we do in life or the lifestyle that we live, because relationships really are supposed to help us to grow, even if they are temporary, because I feel like two people that love each other make each other better. So in my opinion, I feel like every relationship that you're in, you should definitely take the time out to get to know each other. Very important, because I feel like some people, they jump into a relationship just wanting to be in a relationship because they feel like, oh, that person is admiring. They admire that person in a way physically, but they don't get to know their soul. It's so many relationships like that, and it's so crazy because it's like, I was watching, okay, for instance, I was watching this show, and they were asking personal questions about the other person, and it was like, babe, I don't know what, and it was questions that you should have known about your mate, or your spouse. Questions, very important questions about your spouse, to where it was like, really, how long have y'all been in a relationship? Y'all should have known these things. So getting to know each other as far as what that person likes, what that person dislikes, what makes them sad, how do they look when they're sad, how do they act when they're sad, when they're happy, how do they act, who's the most important person in their lives, I was actually speaking to one of my ex-coworkers, and she was just saying how the most important thing to ask somebody when you're dating them, or when you first start dating them, talking to them, is when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? What is what are your daily rituals? What do you do every single day? What does your day consist of? That's very important, because sometimes those things that people used to do before they were in a relationship, while they were getting to know themselves, while they were creating happiness within themselves, they stop doing when they get into a relationship, because they focus more on that person than themselves. So I feel like it's very important when you love someone to make sure that they don't fall off with themselves. They don't, you know what I'm saying? It's very important, because they'll feel like you're the reason why that they don't do what they used to do. It's Queen Diana with what the more we know, we live, learn, and grow. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless you.